My name is Joey Cadiz. I'm a lifeguard. I'm a father. And as of late, I'm learning about what it's like to be a mahiai Kalo, or a Kalo farmer. This is my first venture off on my own, so I've learned from many different kumu and mentors, and now it's time to see what I learn.
Hello, my kako. Joey Aloha here once again for your Laulau Tuesday. Back for your Laulau Tuesday.
LauLau Solutions started during the pandemic when the lockdown orders were put on the people of Hawaii. I realized between my own family members, my neighbors, friends, coworkers, people were getting laid off. I had initially made an announcement on Instagram. It was just supposed to be some small little drop off at the park next to my house in Pearl City at the time for whoever I kind of knew that lived by, that were gonna see it, that I was just gonna drop off a bunch of laulau and just bring a bag and come grab whatever you could.
Joey Cadiz is a man with a plan to feed people in need, and this former UH football player continues to deliver. He goes by his nickname, which is Joey Aloha, and his solution is to go Hawaiian style. He created a donation operation called LauLau Solutions with an emphasis on nutrition.
I really see the need and everybody just in their face.
Thank you.
The mahalo that they have for it, so it really reaffirms what we're doing. After the first time, I actually had a bunch of lifeguards that had seen what I did. They had reached out and asked if I was going to do it again, if they could help, or coming to volunteer to help with prepping and making the laulau, which was also kind of cool in its own respect because some people had never made laulau before, and it was a time for them to maybe educate themselves or learn about our style of how we made laulau, noticing that during the lockdown, we're going to be dependent on the packaged foods that were at home or the canned foods that are loaded with preservatives. Native Hawaiians and Pacific Islanders, just statistically here in Hawaii, have some of the worst health disparities. A lot of it is attributed to obesity, and obesity is attributed to the things that you eat. I have a master's in public health, and we did a lot of research on these types of nutritional changes that people make when they go from their contemporary diet with eating rice and whatever's available to them at home to more sustained Aina-based diets. And we've seen people reverse diabetes because of the eating of Kalo. And in effort to get people access to these types of nutrient foods, which I designated as Kalo, which we turned into laulau, that was our plan, was to get people sustainable, good, healthy foods back in their system, even during the time of the lockdown. It was quite amazing to see the community turn out from the people that wanted to volunteer to help us. I think that's been really inspiring to me to see how many people were touched by what we were doing here and wanted to see how they could help in some way, even to the point of financial donations. We had an account where people could donate from the community whatever they wanted, and we flipped that into what we would put in the laulau for the next week. Basically, whatever the community gave to us, we turned back into the community. And that's really what LauLau Solutions started as and now continues to be. This really started with a dream. As a young kid, I had always dreamt of having a farm. I didn't know if it was going to be a Kalo farm. I think I was looking at getting horses when I was a kid, but I think this is way better.
Joey is an amazing person. He always makes us feel like we're doing great work, giving back to the Aina, and I like getting dirty.
I think just like being connected to the land and the nature, being out in the sun, connecting with the community. I really had like no idea about loey patches and how they work. So like all that knowledge has been very enlightening to understand how it all works and comes together.
It's super awesome that we can get people from all over to come here and actually work, because from when I started coming here to what it looks like now, it's pretty awesome to see.
The fact that I can just get muddy and dirty, because usually I'm in an office all day, sitting in a chair. So this allows me to like exert energy and be in the water, but be in the mud, be hot, but cool. Yeah, it's like the best of all the realms you could possibly be in at once.
I started coming here less than a year ago. My sister introduced me to Joey and this land, and I am coming to a stage in my life where I'm trying to figure out who I am and find my connection to my ancestors. And this was kind of my first step in understanding the connection to the land that all people have, but especially Hawaiian people and our culture. And I think that this is a great way to kind of find myself while giving back to the land and nurturing my relationship to my ancestors.
So one of the things that we try to do on our community work days is feed all of our volunteers. It's the least that we could do to express our gratitude for all the work that they put in every week, and especially during the summer with the heat like this, feeding the people is what we try to do.
Oh, you gave me the big one. Thank you.
We're almost on a year. July will make a year of restoring this place, and it's people like you guys that have contributed to make this happen and allow us to be at this point that we're at now. So we have 5 out of 10 lo'i open, and hopefully we can then get the next 5 open this summer and get some containers here and a little bit more livable or accessible space. But it's because of you guys that have allowed this to happen. I'm always super optimistic, but I also am a realist and understand that there are boundaries or limitations to certain things. But I'm a huge believer in hard work. Like, that's been my moral code since a youngster. It's never gotten any easier. There's always work that needs to be done, and it's just about overcoming those boundaries in your mind when you feel like not doing it or you want to push it to the side, and just putting your head down and going. That's what it takes to make those dreams a reality.
So right now we're coming in on our road or our entrance to our farm. And if you look behind me, you can kind of see how dense this brush is. But basically, all this has potential to be more lo'i Kalo as we continue to restore this area. But one of the things that we're also looking to do with this restoration is for the other people that are in this zone, clearing of these awai and all the blockages that are preventing water flow, which ultimately causes this place to be a flood zone. With us clearing it allows those veins to be open better and for the water to flow naturally the way that it used to. The first flood that we had, we couldn't park or we couldn't drive in. I had boots on that were at least 1.5 feet, and just walking through our main road, it was about 1 foot up my boot. And just thinking about what I was gonna see when I got here, just based on the road, it was gut-wrenching. And then I got to our tents where all our supplies were and saw everything floating around, realized that we lost a bunch of weed whackers, machines, lawnmowers, kind of daily essential tools that add up. And then once we got to the actual lo'i and saw...
I cry, bro. You got any work, bro? And show you need to think us out, you know?
Holy shit.
It's still weak, bro. I'm standing over there, this is weak, bro. We couldn't stop nothing.
It really kind of hurt my heart a bit. It was devastating, especially for our younger patches over here, because they were completely submerged, and there was a high chance that we could have lost everything, because Kalo, when there's too much water, it can drown. But thankfully we were able to kind of get the release slowly, one at a time. I had to manually go in and keep taking things out and removing blockages from the pipes. I got it to release, but we're very close to losing a lot of our crops. It was a good learning experience for us. I think that's where we're at now in trying to deter that type of disaster within our lo'i. And we've determined that building a road that will eventually kind of lift us a little higher so that we won't get flooded out, because right now it's just dirt, which eventually turns to mud road. Also, with that road, we'll be able to have banks that are diverted for when it does rain. It'll flow into the necessary veins that run out to the rivers. And then opening up more and more of our Hawaii and just continuing the work that we're doing will eventually alleviate any of the flooding potential, because those banks and everything will be clear and have water access to be able to flow freely. So our road, we're looking at potentially coral or blue rock, but we want a material that is not hazardous to our water source. And so no asphalt or any type of chemical, because water is our most pristine element and source of being able to feed all of our Kalo. It's been a beautiful journey meeting different people from the community. As more people have kind of learned about what we're doing here, and more people reach out. Essentially, that's kind of why we are looking forward to building containers out a little bit. Currently, we're hosting our volunteer groups under pop-up tents that have since been devastated from the floods. So they're kind of barely hanging up, but we want to be able to provide a safe place, especially for the children that are going to come and access this place. So building out those containers is essential to be able to host people in a solid environment. Having access to a place like this for families not only builds a stronger connection within their home unit, but also the people that they meet in the community that have been able to come here and share time. I know many different families that never knew each other are now hanging out with each other constantly, and it's kind of a beautiful thing. And I've been super thankful that as we post weekly to have community work days, that it's really been the right people that have come out here. People come with good intention and a good heart, and they put in good work. And I think what you see behind us speaks for itself in the amount of love that people have put into this place. If I could dream of having everything that I wanted here, it would be to build a full-on facility that people could see as a learning center here for students and adults, where we could run classes and groups that educate people on Kalo, working with land and being able to do what they can in their own home, having a relationship with Kalo and doing those kinds of things at home with their families, and continue what we're doing with LauLau Solutions and providing free meals for community members in need, and set a standard, hopefully, for the rest of Hawaii to be able to realize that health is attainable within our own resources. And this would just be an example of how we can reclaim land and make it sustainable for our communities as we continue on.
Not sure.
I want the hammer. All right, hammer. All right, hammer. Hammer for the hammer.
In the winter time.
I've seen some cracks in this thing.
Don't worry, we'll catch you.
just break my fall.
Just don't let that thing jump on me.
When you go down the line. Wake up.
Look at it. It looks like a chalice. Look at it.
Ready to hit the road. Don't forget your load.
Who are you? I don't know who you are.
We've
Joey.
never met.
I'm Joey. I come and volunteer here every once in a while.
Oh yeah, bro. How often you volunteer?
Any moment I have. The emu's covered.
We feeling awesome.
Everybody's here.
Awesome.
The community came through. The community is here together. We're all one ohana, and I'm happy. I'm relieved right now. It's a little late, but that's how it goes.